people are about to absolutely lose their minds. And it's going to be fun to witness. And yeah, it's the only way. I was shown a lot yesterday. We're going to be discussing it on the morning show. It's good to see everyone coming in today. And we have a very powerful lesson. People that are tuned into this message and you're able to focus your attention throughout it, you're going to be just fine. But yesterday, I always say that God shows me the confirmations of the things that I'm teaching. We could see the writing on the wall. And when we understand psychology, when we understand frequency, we could come to the conclusion that people are literally about to lose their minds like never before. So this is really a very powerful one. We are live. Hit 555. I'm just reading the chat. Hopefully we have a good connection. It is a powerful episode today. So appreciate you guys coming on. If you are watching the replay, I'm just giving everyone a minute and just making sure that you could hear me crystal clear. Oh, we need a crystal clear clarity day, and today is that day. The amount of signs that I saw yesterday, people that are tuned into this, you're not really afraid, and we broke this down in a powerful video yesterday, but what I discussed in that video was shown to me prior to me doing my evening stroll. So to start this conversation off today, and it was something that I discussed, and I'm home. I have the YouTube on the TV, right? None of us watch mainstream media anymore. Are you watching YouTube? You could get rid of it. Mainstream media. You could put YouTube on your TV. You could watch Our Everyday Lives daily. Right. So I have it on the TV, and I was getting ready to do my evening stroll, and a video popped up, and I said, wow. And the video was about the markets crashing. There was the guy on the thumbnail and the chart going down. And I looked at the video and I said, wow, 30,000 views in 3 hours, about 30,000 views in 3 hours. I said, that's incredible. 30,000 views in 3 hours. And you look at what they're discussing, the markets crashing. You see the depiction of the picture, the down, it's boom, it's going down. And the attention from all the people. All right. So when I sit back and we could see that people are literally going to lose their minds in the upcoming days. All right. We have a very powerful video today. Appreciate everyone's coming on. Hit the like button to push this forward. And I'm going to be talking about the triggering, the subconscious. I'm a world famous content creator. How you doing? If you see me for the first time, I'm going to talk about a post that I put out. I didn't expect it to, get so big on Facebook. And once again, God allowed that post to have I didn't expect it, and it got so many people to watch it see it. It's just a picture post across the world. And I got a lot of information from society through that post. All right. And when we start to see how people react to triggering things, that it actually comes from ego and fear. So when people begin to lose their minds, these are, people that are, they're rooted in the ego. It's actually fear. We can't actually blame them, right? So when people, they're locked into something, right? So it could be from birth. People that are going to struggle are like the people that, were put into a system, a limiting belief, a religion, and they live their whole life, and that was their world. And now the world, right? I told you the world is fake. It's crashing down. So now their fake world is crashing down in the upcoming days. And then they start to lash out. And, we're going to be talking about healthy loyalty in this episode. And you, the person that's getting this message, right? We always talk about being worthy, right? Your value, and you're not going to fall for, and there's going to be this vast difference. People that continue to be locked and loaded into their belief. And when presented with different information, so this is actually it's wired into the collective subconscious. I discussed the subconscious on this channel if you're new. And from, times prior, when, you get into tribes and stuff, if a person had different ideas from the tribe, everyone else, right, would try to stop that person because it might mean that the tribe will perish. So these are deep-rooted subconscious programs, lack and limitation, unworthiness. It's something that we're all breaking free of. And we're not in that caveman mentality anymore. A lot of these things are designed to keep us safe, but they're backfiring in the world that we live in today. All right, you click subscribe, and I'll teach you on your journey. You're going to improve your everyday life. All right, so we're not living that way anymore. And your nervous system, a lot of times, it identifies something different as danger. Danger. This man, this woman, she's different, he's different. And when you reach that level, the people that are at, and again, this is just the way that we're wired for so many years, there's going to be triggering things that happen, and people lose their mind even though it doesn't take, it's not making rational sense. Several months ago, I made a post on Facebook, and it was a picture post. It was a picture of me walking on the beach with my wired headphones, and I put a compare and contrast of the wired headphones and the Bluetooth headphones. And I wrote the post. I talked about my journey. I choose to use wired headphones. They're cheaper anyway. And, talked about the frequencies. And this post I put up on Facebook, it exploded. I couldn't believe how many people. I didn't expect much. I post for the community on Facebook. You can hit me up on Facebook. But this particular post exploded. And I got a lot of feedback. And it's a harmless post of me wearing wired headphones. Okay, I want everyone to understand this, so you understand the mentality of people in society. So the post was me with wired headphones, and some of these people that came and it had a lot of comments, a lot of positive stuff, but I couldn't believe the anger, the derangement syndrome. A lot of people suffer from MDS in this world. Yeah, they suffer from mic derangement syndrome. I posted and if you would like to comment on this, you could comment on this. All right. I was just saying that's my lifestyle, and it, I don't have to spend $100, or I don't know how much the wireless Bluetooth headphones are. It was a simple post about wired headphones, and people lost their mind. Not all people, a couple of them. And it just made me scratch. There's bigger topics in the world that are about to come crashing down. So today, I'm teaching you why, right? This is happening. I'm getting the chats exploding right now with laughter. The post was about wired headphones. Now, the reason for this is some of those beta males, they got triggered because there's fear inside, because maybe they're not using wired headphones. Okay. And everyone could do whatever they want. Okay. You go about I'm sharing about my life here. I'm sharing about my life. So if a person, and then they were rude to some of the women, okay, in the comments section, and if anyone is curious about this post, you could head over to my Facebook. You're going to scroll down. It was from a couple of months ago. So what I'm here to offer you today in this very powerful podcast, if people lost their mind over a post about wired headphones, what do you think is about to happen? Anybody? We're talking wired. We're talking practice. Okay, Allen Iverson once said, people lose their mind over practice. What happens when it's a real game? There's real important stuff that are about to, change in this world. Okay? So a lot of it comes from ego. It's different. This is the cool thing to do in the modern society. All right. I've seen other people talk about this, even famous athletes that refuse, you see some of them promote that. And then there was a famous athlete that wears the cheaper wired headphones, just like your Uncle Mike, and he was gaslit. So I'm just taking this very simple example because what's coming? Oh, there's big topics that are about to pop off, and it's important that we lead with to understand and understand. Okay. There is fear. When people lash out, it's actually fear, and they can't break the program. And what is normal for the mainstream society, do you know about mainstream society? Right? So if you're different than mainstream society, right, people will and it was fascinating to me. It was absolutely fascinating to see that on a simple post about headphones with wires versus the Bluetooth headphones and the frequencies. Okay. And those that watched me on my journey, I shared, this is how God speaks to me. So when I sit back and I observe, and each and every one of us are supposed to observe. Okay. You could observe the human behavior. And if people react a certain way, tremendous insecurity, angel by the ocean. I appreciate all the angels being here. A lot of insecurity, and simply from going through that, and weak men create tough times is a phrase that I've shared, and sit back and watch how men treat women in the comment section. You could check the real life evidence on that post. So. And that's why if you're the divine feminine, right, which we're going to get to all these things. I talk about relationships on this channel. You better make sure that you made a right decision in the that you have a real man, not a beta male in a disguise. So we have to get to this place where we realize a lot of adults, they're trapped in the ego. They act like children, and sometimes the children act more like adults than adults. And we could understand. I can understand. We're understanding, right? But I know why you're acting out. You're actually afraid. I'm not going to tolerate it, though, right? This is how you have to. If you're going to be a leader, you can't tolerate it. I understand it. Right? I understand why you're lashing out, but we're not going to tolerate it. But what's about to happen is a lot of ego and fears, and the brain it's going to go like that. It does not compute. Okay? People were born into systems. They don't want to come to terms that their politics are fake. A lot of people don't want to come to terms that their belief systems are fake. All right? And a lot of these things, if you're new, I broke them down in the previous days. You got the videos waiting for you. Okay. So what I'm here to teach today, I'm the teacher. Class is in session. I'm going to teach you. Okay. And what we want to focus on for this lesson is called healthy loyalty. So one of the phrases that I've given to the community over the years is loyalty is royalty. In the modern society with weak, worthless, modern women known as the Jezebel spirit, beta boys, like, they're not loyal. They're not loyal to their woman. The modern woman is not loyal to the man. All right. And we could see this in the workplace. So, and I know a lot of people struggle with this. I have a real life piece of evidence. All right. So and you're going to write this down if you're new. Okay. You could write it down. True loyalty. We're talking healthy loyalty. Loyalty is a response to merit, not an obligation to identity. Some people are just, oh, it's the identity. It's the red, it's the blue, it's the political label, right? It's the religion, and people can proclaim. I've seen a lot of this. I've seen a lot of people use like say, or I believe in Jesus, right? Or I'm a Christian, or I'm this, and they use that as a shield. And meanwhile, that Jezebel spirit, you know what I'm talking about, brother, right? We had a lot of conversations, right? And they're actually not like that. They're actually not a good person. They just use it as a shield. They use it as a label. And what we need to do in our everyday lives is focus on the content of character. When you have true loyalty, it comes from respect and honor code. What you bring to the table, it's a natural thing. There's people in my life I'm absolutely loyal to, right? Because it's a natural thing. So what you have to get through your head today, if you're watching, you're listening to this message, right? And this is where the subconscious programs, you are rooted in the subconscious. It's creating 95% of your life. Carolyn writes the word integrity. That's what I've been sharing. All right, and that's why I appreciate the community support. As a world famous content creator, I'm going to post with integrity. There's a lot of people that are posting up there. They put all this dramatic stuff. They promote all this fear because they're going to get the clickbaits. Right? They're going to get the clicks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to educate people, and we're going to make sure we're going to move forward in integrity. All right? So you, the person that's getting this message, you have to realize that loyalty, and you're waking up today. Right? That's why there's a great spiritual awakening that's happening across the world. And that's why we see people losing their minds, because there's a dissonance. People don't understand you. Why aren't you doing that anymore? Oh, because I broke free of the mind control spell. Loyalty is a healthy loyalty is a response. Now, I like to use everyday life examples. I've seen this with sports teams, right? I actually did this in a video not too long ago, right? And some of my buddies from back in New York, how you doing, right? They watch. This is a deep thing. I know there's a broken Jet fan out there, right? Are you watching? Okay. Are you watching? Some people are loyal to a sports team, right? So let's use things that are not so intense for the purposes of the lesson. This is what I do here. All right. So a person, right, is loyal to the sports team. And these are the colors, and this is the team. But then you say they don't even care about the fans. And because I was born into being a Jets fan, and there was like a great resignation of Jet fans that canceled their season tickets because they said these people don't even care. They're just running the team to the ground. They're not even like trying to win, and they lost interest and they lost respect for the team. So all these Jet fans, they stopped buying the season tickets. So use this as a teaching tool, because there's actually more serious things in life that are about to collapse, like the Jet fans. So are there some people in the chat that canceled their Jet season package? This was a thing that went on. They woke up. They said this team doesn't even care to win, so they all canceled their season packages. What season package? What lifetime packages are you going to cancel? And people are doing this on this journey. There are certain athletes that they respect and their content of character. Maybe they go to a different team. And that's actually, it's really about people in this world. It's about people. Okay? So that was an example. And what you're going to see in a world, you have to get to this part of the message. Just this second. Ashley Gold 444. I'm so grateful for the super chat. Thank you so much for the support. Thanks for always helping us stay grounded. This is a much needed message. Thanks for embodying the divine masculine. I'm so grateful, Ashley. Thank you so much for the super chat. I love you. So what we want to focus on right now, for you, if you're new, I talk right to you. Who is mistreating you or undervaluing you? Oh, there was actually a great resignation. Now, I want everyone to focus on this. I don't care what your background is. I know a lot of people dealt with this. This happens in the workplace a lot. Yeah. You gave your all in the workplace, right? We all went through an experience like this. You gave everything because you actually cared about your work. You have honor code. You show up to work, right? You gave it your all. You went to the workplace for 15 years, let's say, and you gave it everything. You gave everything to this work over your family. Sometimes maybe you had to, disregard your family for the work, or you had to disregard your own health. Your own health declined because of this work. And then after 15 years of honor and loyal service, that company laid you off and tossed you in the trash. How many people are tuned into this live stream today? And that happened. So you got to focus on this, all right? Caroline writes facts, all right? So what you need to do, I'm giving you the everyday life examples. You are going to see this right now. So there's people that are waking up and you're not tolerating it. Well, you need to do this job for the rest of your life. No, you don't. No, you have to have self-respect. You have to know your worth. You got to wake up to these things. Okay. So if there's any person on this is what I do here. All right. We're supporting the people. You went to the workplace and you were mistreated. You were undervalued. You gave 12, 15 years, maybe more. And one day, right, because of the money, the downsizing, you were laid off. And you woke up and you were a cog in the machine. And you got the money, but maybe your health declined, or maybe the moments with you, or maybe you actually had to lose a relationship because of a job that laid you off, brother. Because of a job that laid you off, divine. And let me talk to the divine feminine, because I see some of them out there. You gotta know these things. That's why you really want to make a right decision for your divine masculine. You should not be 50, 60 years old and working if you're the divine feminine. All right, hit the like button, someone please, for that. Let's wake our brothers and sisters up today. Let's wake our brothers and sisters up today. This is a fire episode. All right. And it's sad. So, and that's, as a man, you could wake up one day and say, I lost so much time. I lost so much time because of this, because it was wrong. And that's why you are moving forward while your fake friends, fake people. And I heard a lot of stories. My upbringing, I actually had a great upbringing when it comes to the church, but I've heard so many stories of people that were disrespected by people. They ain't good people. They're narcissists in the church, brothers. They're narcissists in the church, sisters. Hit the like button, right? So you were, and then you said, I can't take part of this no more. I can't take part of this no more. So then people are going to look at you, right? Because you stand up for yourself. You say, wait a second. No, it's about the word. It's about the teaching. It's not about all this cliques and cults and all these other things. And then you pull yourself back. And then to other people, they're going to lash out at you. You don't care if they lose their minds. You got to leave them in the dust. This is the time. Peter Weaver, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so grateful. We are all from the same source creator, whom created all of creation. I appreciate you, Peter. I love you. I'm very grateful for the super chat. You know, there's a term out there if you're on your spiritual journey, and what I do, I teach things with laser pinpoint accuracy. That's why I'm the best there is. You might be seeing me for the first time. You get the information here. You will go out into spiritual communities, you start studying this stuff, and you're going to get this concept that states we are all one, like Peter just explained. And that is true. We're all, if you're on this journey, we're all the same in the sense, like I could reflect, I go on my journey, I could see myself and characteristics within other people. But what we're not are NPC robots. We're not all wash, rinse, repeat. You, the person that's getting this message, we're all part of the source creator. We all have God flowing the energy of God through our DNA receptors, and you are a unique expression. The key word is unique. You're a unique expression of God. That's what we are all one. It doesn't mean that, I'm the same, we're all robotic in the same thing. That Stone Age mentality is finished this year. Well, why is it finished this year? Oh, this is year one. You showed up on divine timing. This is year one. You could throw up 1111. So any one of these things that are outside of you, your job could be taken away. All right. Maybe, and this goes back to loyalty. I discussed relationships. You could go to my relationship playlist for the podcast. Loyalty is a response to merit. Loyalty is a natural response through a very powerful term called unconditional love. And I sat out there with the swans. A lot of people saw that video. That's why, again, God sends me to swans. I'm talking, here comes the two beautiful swans. The beautiful swans, they just loved each other. They don't have all this stupid stuff in their brain, right? From the disgraceful modern woman, from the weak, worthless beta male, right? All scheming, all egoic stuff. I'm talking about merit. I'm talking about true loyalty. And then the problem is, see, this is why we have to understand everything. And this was my problem. I was loyal to people that were dirtbags. Yeah, I was loyal to people that didn't deserve my loyalty. And I know a lot of people are going through this right now. So you could say, I gave my all. I wanted to do the best. And so you have to have self-respect. It's always on the inside. And this is what you have to take from this message today. Okay? The fake relationship, the fake workplace, the fake belief system, every single one of these things outside of you can always be taken away. But the only thing that matters, who you become on this journey, can never be taken away. Period. The end. That's a good one, right? That's it. Done. See, that's why I say Ascension is an inside job. If you've gone on your truthful awakening journey, you can't go back. This is not just a term. What I became, who I am, can never be taken away. Never, even, into the afterlife. That's called the Akashic Records. It's documented. That's the only thing you take with you. That's the only thing you take with you. All the time. Period. You can't take the materialistic things with you, right? And so what I would suggest to people, we're helping a lot of people break out of the fear. A lot of people had fear thrown on them in a post-2020 world. You are not to be afraid of people, right? So what we're learning from this lesson, we have respect. We're not tolerating disrespect, but you cannot be afraid of, I'm going to just stay away from everyone, because you don't learn. I've learned through all my experiences, everyone that I've met on my journey, like my life is enriched, because you cannot learn sitting in the basement, staring at the wall. You learn through other people. We learn through other people. And I'm very blessed to be in the position that I am, because I have such an enriched life where I could put up a post and I could sit there and I could look at all of society and I could see everything. So I'm going to offer you this concept today. When you tune in, you say, oh, people are going to absolutely lose their minds. So when people are, and if you did not watch I gave it out there on the beach. A lot of people love those videos. It will pop up at the end. You watch it in its entirety if you didn't listen to it yet. And I had that confirmation. And I say, wow, 30,000 views. And who knows how many it has now in 3 hours. Oh, the markets are crashing. Here it is. Here's the chart. And people, so that's the way the brain, you are wired short tension. Where are you wired to? What are you concerned with? So that's why it's an operating system. I teach this on this channel, if you are new, you could go to my manifestation playlist. Well, that sounds spiritual hippie stuff. Well, if you want the real science data stuff, it is shown that many people that have hit the lotto and they got millions of dollars, most of them go back to being bankrupt. And what we could take from this and learn, it's always the internal frequency. That's why who you become, you cannot fake a frequency. I told the community in this year, we are focusing on this word embodiment. You could watch me, okay? You could watch me. People have been watching me. If you're new, you show up for 3 months. I guarantee you'll be on a totally new timeline and a new frequency. These changes don't happen over, like if a person, and that's why I don't give up on people. I don't tolerate negativity, and there's people that watch now that they maybe, they got triggered. It's part of the subconscious. It's part of the protection. Like there might be a person that got triggered by my I wear wired headphones simple post. And over the course of time, they started to wake up and be open-minded to things. And it's happened many times. That's why I have spiritual armor. Did you watch my video, The New Full Armor of God? Oh, it's tremendous. We have to do another one on that. We got to do another one on that. You have to have the full armor of God, brother. You cannot bow down to, you will get lost. If you've clicked subscribe, it's the main video on the channel page. Watch it. Get it in there. You must be moving forward. Anyone and everyone can stop you. And the reason why they can stop you is not actually them. It's what they put in that brain. It's that brain rot. Sometimes I watch those brain rot reels. Do you watch them? Right? There's a lot of brain rot out there, right? No, here on this channel and community, we're putting out content that's going to improve our everyday life. We're not going to get the brain rot here, right? So everything is a frequency. If people are tuned in or focused on the material world, going to be a tough. I don't. This is not stopping. I can't say a couple of weeks, couple of months. It's a total unraveling. Total unraveling is literally happening right now. It's overwhelming. All right. So if I went to myself, okay. So I've been on, through this awakening journey even prior to me starting this. But let's say I go back 7 years ago, right? There I am making my first video. There he is, right? I use my first video as a teaching tool for other people now. All right, there he is, right? And now here I come now, right? Here I am. Here comes the king that I am now, and the person that just started off, right? Thinks they know. I thought I knew. No. So now I'm having a conversation, and this is how I take the triggering out of this. So now I'm talking to the previous version of myself. How you doing? Okay, this is the truth, and I say all these things, right? And I would look at myself, the previous version might be triggered if I'm having a conversation, right? You ever see these movies? They go back in time. They see the early version of themselves, right? So I want you to utilize that, right? My job here is to help you. You got to break through the cognitive dissonance, which is in the subconscious brain. Grammy Sue, thank you so much for the super chat. First super chat. I'm so grateful for that, the celebration. I appreciate that very much. Absolutely 999. It's over, kid. The previous timeline is over. The previous version of yourself is over. If you are a person that's able to focus your attention throughout this talk today, you're definitely making it. You've already ended the previous version. I've ended the previous version of that's all my responsibility is. My responsibility is on me. And that's the problem in the modern society, in the social media world. In the social media world, my responsibility is on me. And when you go on the inside and you work on the inside, then that's called the foundation that we build with God. So you probably, if you're still here, right, you're still listening, you've probably been on this journey. Your own family members can absolutely lose their minds on you. The people in the workplace, the water cooler, or maybe the fake person that you're in a relationship with. Any comments? You write them down below. So you're going to have to go through this, and people aren't going to say, where's Jonathan, right? Where's Mary, right? Oh, you're going to be missing because you're beneath the surface of the earth. No one sees you. Well, what are you doing, right? That's what I was doing. I put the helmet on, and we're building the foundation with God. And when you build a foundation with God, all this fake stuff, right? It doesn't matter the market crashing video. It's got 30,000 views. All this other stuff. All the fear. All of this. All of that. You cannot be moved because you built the foundation. Because you get it, and that's why. And I see certain things as well. Like people are looking for a savior out there, right? And that's why I feel you see all these weird posts and things. It's to test you. God is always going to test you. Who are you putting your faith in? You're putting in false idols? Even if a person is a good person, you're still not supposed to worship them. Someone's got to hit the like button for that one. Wow. And I see it as well. So that's why you're going to experience, you're going to see these things. Because it's try to get you to wake up. Because if you put that power outside, you're done. You're done. Life is not going to be, it's not easy. Everything I've done in my life is not easy, but it was authentic and it lasts the test of time. A lot of stuff, the people that are out there, they get them propped up. That doesn't last because when the truth comes out, there's something that collapses. And this goes back to earlier in the lesson. And the word is respect. And when you lose respect, you could lose respect for people, things, situations, subconscious programs, or even religious beliefs. When you lose respect, the whole thing comes, and now you're sitting there, and it will be triggering, and you say, I gotta piece my life. And you might be curled up in the fetal position. I told you that. Yesterday's tremendous video. You're gonna watch it. It's okay. And you will be curled up in the fetal position if you're not prepared. You have to realize everything's up for questioning. Question everything, because questioning everything is your birthright. And I saw this. I saw the disgrace. That's why God took a middle school science teacher to do this. And I saw it years ago, and there's got to be something in this world. You say something is wrong, and all these people, I heard like a term years ago, trust the science is literally the opposite of the science. No, you got to question the science. It's literally the first step in science. And as I taught years ago, and I will teach moving forward, and it never goes away. It's always the first step, and it is ask the question. All the time. And if you can't question something, if it's a book, it's a this, it's a that, you got to keep questioning. And if you cannot go directly to the source, if you go to the false idol, and then all of a sudden, goes like that. Goes like that. And that's why, going back to the sports talk, I've seen this through myself over the years, some of my brothers as well. When you're going towards, and there's so many, people that went through this, and you could go through this as well. However you view sports, okay? I feel we have to make sure we have sports because it builds community, how to work with others, right? Discipline, so on and so forth, right? And some people just want to just disregard it, okay? That's not my lens on it. It's very important for our young men. It's got to be done right. So what I see with other conscious and awake men like myself, you can't just say, because this is the team. Maybe that's not a good person there, or maybe that's a great person on that team over there. And just because you were, since I'm just using a lighter topic to teach this, since you were younger and you said, I don't like that guy because it's a rivalry with the team, right? But you might like that person as the man or the person that he is. And you got to say, what, I can't look at the baseball cap or the football helmet or something like that. So I'm using that as a teaching tool. You use this to guide you on because you're evolving right now. You are literally changing when your frequency shifts. That's why I teach here. You click subscribe. When your life, if you're new today, hi. Are weird things happening in your everyday life? Because now you're a different person. So the energetic cords to all the things that used to be connected to, it has to collapse. It must collapse because you're now a more authentic version of yourself. You might have seen one of those people flapping the gums on a TV. And now all of a sudden you can't hear it anymore because now your frequency is authentic and you can't listen to one of those people opening their mouth. And it sounds like the nails on the chalkboard. You ever does that happen to you? So you have to understand that there are possibilities. You have to make your own decisions. It's possible that you were given something, an idea, since you were younger, or maybe it's part of the cool thing in mainstream society. And maybe, possibly, you're going to have to just question it. Maybe that's what you're going to have to do. And when I sit back and I observe people, I see people grow. I've seen this over the past few years. If you made it through this, you click subscribe to do better with your life. As I've seen this, I've seen men fallen post 2020, and I've seen men rise. And now we're being led into battle. Not literal battle, but the spiritual battle. You understand? All right. It's going to get wild. It's going to be... We are on Desperado's Plunge. Yeah, watch my video on that one. That's what we're going on, Desperado's Plunge. My dad's going to love that. That was a tremendous video. So if you are new to me, I'm Michael. I discuss the Ascension journey. We're going to improve your everyday life physically, mentally, and spiritually. We got to focus on our 4 pillars of life. All right. So, remember, especially if you're a man, you got to have purpose in life. The arm candy is not going to define you. The amount of money in the bank is not going to define you. All right. So we got to have strong pillars. We have a strong connection to God. Connection to yourself is the connection to God. Some people are numb to them. You got to focus on this. If you lose yourself, you lost the game of life. I've watched people lose in the past few years. Now it's time to win. Now it's time to win. You got to be strong, and you got to have balance. It's the one thing that has always come through to me. I embody it in my life. Balance. Don't judge people by the labels. All right. Focus on what we discussed and learned today about healthy loyalty. Right. It cuts both ways. In the modern world overall, people are not, they're all in the ego. They're not loyal to their spouses or boyfriend, girlfriend. But then sometimes we're also too loyal, right? And then you give your company all the years of your life, you're doing the best you can, and then you're tossed out like nothing. Right? You gotta, that's why you gotta study this channel, right? It's gonna help you any aspect of your life, right? You were the divine feminine, right? And he tossed you out for someone else, right? Nothing, right? Or maybe you're the divine masculine, right? And she tossed you out and stole half your pension, bro. Oh, we talk the real stuff here on this channel. You're gonna love it. I appreciate you being here. We have daily videos 9 a.m. Eastern time to help you become the greatest version of yourself. Wow, let's get back into balance, people. Let's get back into alignment. Let's stay focused. All right? Absolutely, Marcus. Marcus, I love you, brother. I see it all, and now you will see it all. All right? And again, don't move forward with the fear. I know things. You might have been hurt. You might have been hurt in a relationship, at the workplace. It doesn't mean... That's why you have to get the subconscious right. You got to get your nervous system right. That's what I teach on this channel. If it sounds interesting, you click subscribe, get on those videos. Let's get going. LFG, baby. LFG today. You got to move because people will lose their minds, but you are going to become the greatest version of your life. Oh, yeah. The greatest version. This is the year. Your life's going to change. And it's always a frequency. All the time. All right. Powerful videos waiting for you. Comment down below. What do you want me to teach in the upcoming days? All right. Hit me up on Facebook. You could check out my that post I was talking about on my Facebook. The link is in the description down below. I love you all. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, light warriors, just keep going. I love you guys very much. Very much. Grateful for you being here, and we have a lot of fun, and the fun has just begun. Bye for now.